to another fun tutorial Thursday where I share with you a project, a card, something, and we make it start to finish, and I give you all the step-by-step instructions, and you can jump on my Buzz Bulletin. You can sign up for that on my blog at stampinqueenbee.com, and you can get the actual printable PDF tutorial of today's project. We're making a simple card today using some kind of neutral colors to create a sort of denim look, and it's a really simple, sometimes simple card making is the best kind of card making. So let's get started. Okay, so here is the sets that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using a background set called Painted Stripes. We're going to be using a new photopolymer set called Encircled with Love, and it's got all of these great circle sentiments, and it actually coordinates with our new circle punch, the 1 7/8 circle punch. So it's going to beautifully cut these out exactly, and then you don't have to try to fussy cut out a circle on the exact, right? So here is my blog at stampinqueenbee.com. And if you aren't already subscribed, you'll want to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up, but also to my weekly Buzz Bulletin. That's an email newsletter I send out every week, and it's going to come with a tutorial that you can print out. It's a PDF in there with the supply list, your AKA wish list, and the measurements of everything that I do today, as well as the step-by-step instructions that go with the video. Another fun thing is when you shop with me this week, you earn a freebie from me. So you're going to get a card kit from me, and it's going to come with all the pre-cut parts and pieces in this fun goodie bag for this week's project. So when you order, today is Thursday, so when you order by the following Wednesday, you will get the current week's card kit, which is whatever we are making, enough to make 3 of your own with all the pre-cut pieces. And of course you get our tutorial as well as a fun little thank you gift from me. And generally I include one of that week's cards made up for you so you can use it as the example. All right, I think that was everything I needed to share. So let's get started with today's card. So we are kind of making a denim look. So let me show you this card we're going to make today. So doesn't this have just the total denim blue jeans type of feel? We're using Misty Moonlight and Secret Sea, and we are making just a really simple card that we can use for all occasions, right? This one is the thank you, but if we look at that stamp set again, you'll see there's way to go would be a great congratulations card, maybe graduation, or you know, all kinds of things, right? Then there's the thank you we'll be doing today, a little something for you. So maybe you're giving a gift card for a birthday or just because, right? There's sorry, you're on my mind and in my heart, happy birthday, which is probably the #1 card that we make, right? And then I love this with love. Now you could absolutely use that on a card front, but it makes a beautiful back of the card stamp, and then you could even just put your initials right there or sign your name underneath, and that is a great little seal that we could put on the back of our card. So let's get started. I've got my Misty Moonlight base here, and this is just cut 8.5 by 11 in half and then scored down the middle. I'm using my bone folder here. If you don't have one of these, you want to make sure you add that to your tool collection because it really is helpful to keep your cards laying flat and not just folded and, open. And then we're going to use some basic beige. This is a newer color for us, but it is a really good neutral and it goes with a lot of things. So we're going to stamp on this, and we're also going to put it on the inside of our card. So let's do that first. Just using some liquid glue adhesive. We're going to put this right on inside our card. There we go. And that'll be where we can write our message. We're going to add a little bling inside there at the end to decorate it up, but that is going to be our card, like mechanics, right? That's the basis of our card. So let's do some stamping. So the first stamp I'm going to bring in is that great big background stamp. So this is the painted stripes, so it's one solid stamp, and these stamps are bigger, so they are heavy, and for me personally, it's kind of cumbersome to pick this whole thing up and stamp it down on paper. So what I like to do is lay it on its back, and we're going to use our Misty Moonlight here, and we're actually going to ink this upside down. So it's going to stay just like so on its back. We're going to take our ink pad and we're going to press our ink pad into this whole background stamp. Now this stamp is lovely because it's called painted stripes, and they have sort of a watercolor striped effect. So they aren't going to be solid stripes. They're kind of meant to be distinctive. So you'll see there's kind of shadowing already in there, you can see, right? And when we stamp that down, you'll really see that. So we're just inking this real good. And then what I like to do for these big background stamps is I lay my paper to the stamp instead of stamp to the paper. So I'm going to take my basic beige layer here. We're going to set that down right onto our stamp. And then I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper here, scrap grid paper. I'm going to put that on top. And so this allows me to give it a nice good back rub so that we get all of those stripes nicely stamped onto our basic beige layer there. And you can just kind of push around, make sure you're not moving that paper. So I kind of always leave one hand until I lift up. And we'll move our grid paper. Now you can see it gets like, you know, the outline of it, and that's why I don't use my hands. Now, I've been doing it, so you can see I've got some kind of inky fingers here. But then I like to push it so that it kind of pops up. Do you see that? It kind of popped up on the edge. And then that allows me to lift it straight off. And then we have our imprint of those painted stripes. So do you see how they're kind of distinctive? They're not a solid stripe. They're, number one, they're wavy and they're not exactly in line, right? But they're also, you know, light and dark within the same stripe, and that is on purpose. And I think it really gives it like a denim-y feel, especially when we stamp it in this Misty Moonlight, right? All right, so now we're gonna bring back in our card base. Remember, we're focusing on simple card making today. So we're really just using ink, stamping, and some cardstock layers. Well, we will finish up with a little bling and a few other things, but it's really simple card making. We don't have to, you know, have all these steps to make beautiful cards. Okay, so here is our layer, and now we're gonna need another scrap piece of that basic beige. And I'm going to bring in my Secret C. My Secret C, this is one of our new in colors. It's sort of a really dark blue-black. And then I have my stamp, my thank you stamp from that Encircled with Love stamp set. And before I do that, I'm going to bring in my foam mat. So these are really helpful when you have the clear photopolymer stamps. They really help you to get a better, crisper, clearer image when you're stamping. So we're just going to take that thank you, and we're going to stamp this down onto our basic beige there. Lift that up, and we have a beautiful thank you image. I love that greenery on the side. Well, it's beigery on here since we're using basic beige, right? And then I'm going to bring in that 1 7/8 circle punch, and look how nice that fits right in there. And we can punch that right out. Easy. No having to cut in a perfect circle, right? So we'll bring back in our card base and grab some of our Stampin' Dimensionals here. These are just foam adhesive that we are going to put right on the back here. Then at the end, I'm going to show you some other variations. I was playing with this with all kinds of different neutral colors. And I want to show you how lovely they are in all kinds of colors, right? I even did an ombre one. Okay, so we're gonna put this right on the right side here. Add that down. And those foam dimensionals just give that a little bit of a lift. Helps your card pop out, right? I think it needs a bit of bling. And we have these new bling called Low Profile Sparkle Dots. These are embellishments. They have adhesive on the back, so they're sticky. And I love they come in this Secret Sea. What are the colors? See, I always write them on the back. Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. And we're going to use that Secret Sea today. And we'll just go ahead and lift. I'm just using my Take Your Pick tool to kind of pick those up. And let's see, where should we put these? Let's put 2 of these down below. And let's see, let's do one on this one, right at the base of those leaves on our sentiment there. So really background, sentiment, and bling, and you have an easy card, right? Now on our inside layer, I'm gonna add a few more of those bling. These are really flat, so they work well for the inside of your cards. Some embellishments are really raised up, but these are a little bit flatter, so they lay really well on the inside of the cards. So that is today's Denim-Inspired Painted Stripes and Encircled with Love card. And how beautiful that is. And that really could go for anyone, right? It could lean towards masculine if you need a masculine card. And anybody I know would love to receive something like that. So that is today's card. Remember, if you would love the freebie from me card kit this week, when you place your $50 or more order in my online store before next Wednesday night, you will get all the parts and pieces pre-cut for you in a fun goodie bag right to your door. All right, let me flip this around and say hello again and goodbye. And I will see you guys Tuesday for a Template Tuesday and again next Thursday for another great card tutorial. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.